Vandal locks. Love them or hate them, it's all a part about school bus history and things that we need to know as school bus drivers. So when you see this on your door again, say, thank you, Vandal lock. Hey guys, welcome back to Oobie's Tips. Now today, we're gonna be talking about this little thing right here. What is it? What is it called? Well, it's actually this, and we actually have another one on the back of the bus. This is called a Vandal lock. Pretty much it's self-explanatory. What is a Vandal lock? Well, it is a keyed mechanism to lock your doors. Now, I've been getting, I got a request to do this from Arthur Harris. So Arthur, thank you so much for requesting this video, because at first I'm like, oh, a Vandal lock, it's just a lock, you know. But today I did some research, like the history and some other information I had no idea about. And so I'm glad, Arthur, that you requested this, because I learned a lot today by researching Vandal locks. And I'm going to share with you guys here in a second. Alrighty, so first of all, how long do you think Vandal locks have been on the school bus? It kind of surprised me when I read about it. There is no exact date on when they became, because they're not required on the school bus, or they wasn't required on the school bus. Like the crossing gate right here, or even the stop sign right here. Now these are required on school buses, but the Vandal locks were never really required by law. But they are, I think they are now. I have to read up. I got the actual statute of the NHTSA, the National Highway. I can't remember the rest of the acronyms, but the NHTSA actually regulates, like, you know, locks and windshields and emergency exits and things like that. So I got the actual statute, so I need to go and read up on it to see if it's actually law or what. But the first recorded mention of Vandal locks, Vandal locks, say that 3 times fast, was actually back in 1980, was the first mention I could find. But that was a paper, there was a letter submitted to the TSA. So NHTSA, there was actually a letter written from, I believe it was Thomas right here. Thomas Buses wrote a letter, I can't talk today, back in 1990. So, first of all, how do we use a Vandal lock? Well, you go up here and grab my key real quick. All right, I got my key. Now I have to wait for the air pressure to equalize, because, you know, yeah. So I sit there and hold it down for a second, or hold the door closed, so air pressure will release. Okay. And on our keychain, we have 3 different things. We have the fuel key, as you saw in one of the previous videos about the Pro key. I'm in bus 1703. The second key is the actual ignition key, and we have a third key. This is for like our fuel door and our Vandal lock right here. And so here's how we do it. We just insert the key, and I can't remember which way. That's the wrong way, so I guess I'll have to turn the key around. Insert the lock, and it doesn't do anything right now. You have to actually turn it, and then you can lock the door. Oh, I had to go the other way with it. And then you can't take the key out yet. You have to actually turn the key back and then take the key out. And now it is locked. I can't get in my bus. So yeah, that is how we use on the front door, the service door, the Vandal lock. I'm gonna unlock it now. I hope this is the right way it was in. So It's always, okay, so note, always put it in the way you don't think it goes, because more than likely that's probably correct. Okay, so I got the key in, turn it. That doesn't do anything. You have to actually turn the outside to unlock it. Then you can't take the key out, you have to turn the key back and it locks again. So you can't leave it just unlocked so you can manually lock, unlock. You have to choose if you want it locked or you don't want it locked. So, you know, since I have my camera on a selfie stick, let me see if I can go on top of the bus right here with the selfie stick. First, let me extend you out, turn you down this way. That way I get a huge view, kind of nice view. So let's see if I can, oh, there's the hole. So I'm gonna do it right now. Let's see, yep, there's the lock. So I just showed you how the service door Vandal lock works. Like I said, that's a hard word to say. Now let's go to the rear of the bus and let's look at the other lock. Now I'm just gonna open the door. Now this lock is right here. Now you can only lock this from the inside the bus. You can't lock it outside the bus. Now I'm going to tell you something about that. I never have actually used these before, so this is my first time I'm trying to figure out how. Okay, there we go. That's how you do it. That's my first time I've ever done that. So this is a rear door lock. Now the thing about this is actually keyed to the ignition, which is in front of the bus. If this door lock is like this right here, the bus will not start. So you can actually play probably a pretty good prank on other bus drivers. You sneak on their bus, you latch this over, and their bus is not going to start. They're going to be sitting there like, why won't my bus start? Is it neutral? Why is it not even turning over? That's because you need to come back here and look at this interlock right here. And make sure that's in that position right here. So now since I know how it works, let's go back to the front there and we'll try to do some experiments, because I read that the bus will not start with this lock engaged. However, you can actually crank the bus, then engage the locks, and it will run, but you're going to have the buzzer go off, the bus alarm, the beep, things like that. So, yeah. All right, let's go take a look at it. Oh yeah, well, I'm thinking about it. Funny story. Okay, the Vandal locks on different models of bus are different. So Thomas's are right here. If you have an IC International, it's going to be somewhere around the wheel well up here, and that will also turn off the starter so the bus will not start if you have it on. I don't remember if ICs have a door lock. I'm pretty sure they do, but it's been so long since I drove an IC. Bluebirds, I have no idea. It's been a really long time since I drove a Bluebird, but I know there has to be some kind of mechanism that lets the front door to be locked. Now, the funny story I was going to talk about, when I first started driving the buses 8 years ago, we had we didn't have all these fancy buttons to open the door with the push of a button or close the door with the push of the button. We had one of those old style where you had to grab it, and it was like to open the door, this way to close it. And there's a little latch thing on the top. Let me find a picture of it and I'll post it right here. So there's a little latch on top. You have to push it up, pull the door a little bit to open it. I always was told, whatever you do, don't just kind of slam the door, because that will actually slam that little lever in the closed position. And there's no way you can't pull the door the door won't open. And what you have to do then is do the walk of shame to the back of the bus to get in through the emergency exit to go up here so you can finally unhook the old door locking mechanism. And I've read somewhere there was also a little lock or something where there's a mechanism that would go up, and it's just like a little lever you pull, and it actually pops up that locking mechanism. That way the door would open. Of course, we don't have any of those now, so I really can't check that. But I watched another YouTube video for someone posted it 16 years ago on YouTube about it, and I was like, huh, that's what that little lever thing was. All right, let's double check inside the bus here. The bus is in neutral. Will it crank? Yes, it cranks. All right, now go back here and lock the mechanism. All right, if I remember correctly, it was this, that. All right, now let me see if it will crank. Wow, bus will not crank. Actually, I got the buzzer alarm that's telling me, hey, something's not right, something's not right. I'll be sitting here like, the bus is in neutral, nothing's working. That's because the interlock back there is locking the door. All right, so let's go back here. Let's try the other option where, oh wow, I just noticed that. Okay, this actually has a spring in it, so all I have to do is just do that and it unlocks itself. All right, now let me crank up the bus. All right, bus is cranked. Oh, you did it. Okay, so there you go. The bus is cranked, and so that does work like that. Kind of weird. I guess that's so intruders can't get into the bus if, because I always thought about that myself. Like, what happens if like a gunman or some weird person tries to get back to the bus with my kids on it? That's how you lock them out. So, all right, go ahead and flip that little lever there. Let's see if it shuts up. Yay! I just learned something new. I had no idea. I never even played with that stuff. But at least now I know. A lot of bus mechanics probably knows a lot more about this interlock mechanism because, you know, if a bus isn't crank, you know, make sure it's in neutral. It still won't start. Well, make sure that they probably have a whole checklist, and one of them probably has to be go back here and make sure the deadbolt or that mechanism ain't got that back door locked, because this bus cannot be used with the back door locked just because, can you guess? Just because if you have some kind of accident, the kids cannot get out the bus because they don't know how to work that lock. So it means that door's locked. If you have an accident, the kids can't get out. So that door, while in operation, has to be unlocked at all times because it's an emergency exit. Like right there, the little thing on my, like, zoom in right there, because it is a emergency exit. Alrighty, well, I'm going to close these windows. These are, a lot of people, I have a lot of kids trying to do this right here and go up. I'm like, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is just reach over here and go, boom. Let me close this. You can also go outside the school bus and push the windows up. A lot of times that's how I do it, but since I'm just right here, I'll just do that. Close this. All right, turn the bus off now. Alrighty, guys. Well, come on out here. Just want to. So, well, I gotta make sure the door closes. Got at least all the air pressure. So, Vandal locks. love them or hate them, it's all a part about school bus history and things that we didn't know as school bus drivers. So when you see this on your door again, say, thank you, Vandal, for all that you do and stuff I never knew. Known. Whatever. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I surely greatly appreciate every one of you for watching. And if you have any other questions, please leave. If you have any stories about Vandal locks or locking yourself out of a school bus and you have to make the walk of shame to back of the bus, just let us know in the comments below, because I know I sure have. I guess I could comment my own video, but that'd be kind of weird. I don't know. You might see someone Oobie messaging myself. So, yeah, kind of weird. All right, guys. Well, I'll talk to you soon.